The last 15 minutes of my life were spent scrubbing this kitchen so I could make this video. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today let us make ghee together. Ghee is also known as clarified butter. The traditional Ayurvedic recipe is quite time consuming. It's not complicated, I would say, but you do need to source ingredients which are very difficult to find in the Western world. For instance, you always have to use raw milk. So milk which has not been pasteurized, not homogenized. And here if I have to get it, I'll have to go to a farm and pick it up. So that ain't happening. So the easiest way for us to make ghee here is by using butter. And here I'm using yogurt butter. Yogurt butter, I live in Switzerland, so these are the names that cultured butter is called here, yogurt butter. So basically this is butter in which some culture has been introduced, and hence it's a little bit healthier than your normal butter. So all we're going to do is we're going to cook this butter at a medium-low heat, and then we're going to filter it using this muslin cloth and put it in a clean dry jar like this one. It's important that the jar be dry. Of course it has to be clean, but it also has to be dry because we'll be spending so much time to get rid of all the moisture from the butter, and you don't want to reintroduce it when you're storing it. And if the ghee or the clarified butter has been cooked properly, cooked long enough, it does have a very, very long shelf life. How should I use ghee? How should I use clarified butter? Well, it can be used everywhere we use any other type of fat, any other type of oil. So you can use it for cooking, drizzling over cooked rice, or sometimes we mix it with some herbs and it is used for its medicinal properties then. But anyways, I'll shut up for now and we'll start making it. So all we're going to do now is to cook this butter in a pot. And I'm going to fast forward the actual recipe because it's no rocket science. I'm just cooking this butter at a low heat. So let the magic begin. So this is the cultured butter. I used about 400 grams of it, and now we're going to cook it for about half an hour at low to medium low heat. There are basically only two things that you have to be careful about. One is that as it is cooking, there will be a bit of foam that will come on top of the surface, so you have to scoop it out and throw it away. And the second important thing is that at the time of filtering it, at the time of storing it, you have to make sure that none of the solids go into the jar. This is what I am doing. So the butter has now melted, and now the moisture is escaping. Slowly you'll see this foam accumulating on the top, which we have to remove. Also, another important thing is that now that the butter has melted, I have reduced the heat even further. So now it is at low, because now I will not be disturbing this pot at all. Slowly all the foam will rise and the milk solids will settle to the bottom. If I keep it at a high heat, then the solids might start burning. So I'm letting it cook very slowly and gently. As you can now probably see, the solids are separating and they will eventually settle to the bottom, and what we will be left with will be a clear golden liquid. Another thing I want to mention is that I'm not disturbing the pot here at all, so you can walk away as long as you keep checking in every few minutes and the heat is on low. It's been about 25 minutes and we're almost there. The milk solids have started to settle to the bottom. I personally like to cook it a bit longer, even after the milk solids have settled to the bottom, because I like the sweet aroma of the milk solids when they get cooked. They get cooked so that they become brown at the bottom. Now it does mean that the pan is a bit difficult to clean, but Every time you open the jar of ghee, there is a beautiful sweet aroma that comes that I really like. So I will cook it for a little longer than half an hour. It will be about 40 to 45 minutes until I start smelling that beautiful liquid. I hope you can see the golden liquid that we are left with. The milk solids at the bottom are still white in color. I will let it cool until it becomes a little bit brown. That's when it gives that beautiful aroma. And this is the last bit of the foam. Actually, even if we leave it, it's fine, because as it goes through the filter, through the muslin cloth that I'll be using as a filter, this will be left behind. But I'm anyways going to remove it just to be sure. The milk solids at the bottom are starting to turn a little bit caramel color, and I will switch off the heat in 2-3 minutes. And the next step would be to let it cool down, and I will come back when I have started to filter the ghee.